I'm the FanFiction Critic, and this is what you do with a BA in English. Oh, Harry Potter. What can really be said about it? It's the work of Satan, of course. Fundamentalist groups left and right claim that the books are designed to lure young innocents into the clutches of the devil himself, often stating that witchcraft is evil, and so is anybody who does it. I think it's pretty safe to say that none of these fundamentalists have actually read a Harry Potter book the whole way through. I think instead they've come across a certain article published by The Onion, and then they didn't realize that it was a joke. The Onion article in question is, of course, the infamous Harry Potter books spark rise in Satanism among children. Now, a lot of people did see this and think it was real. They immediately decided that the Harry Potter books were evil without bothering to actually read them. And I'm pretty sure that the author of today's fan fiction might be one of those people. His name is Saint Abraham. No, not that Saint Abraham. The real Saint Abraham ditched his fiancée at the altar and then gave all his money to charity. That's how you become a saint. Leave the woman you love and give all your money to charity. But anyway, the author of today's fan fiction is also called Saint Abraham, and his story is called Harry Potter Turns to the Lord. I shit you not. Oh, this is the cube of profanity. Once the cube fills up, all the money's gonna go to the Red Cross. Anyways, grab your rosaries and get ready to jump straight in to Harry Potter Turns to the Lord.
Another sleepless night for the world's most popular child wizard.
Do you really want to start your story with a sentence fragment? No. No, you do not.
It's as if he were being haunted, he thought to himself. Haunted by innumerable faceless entities that thrive on his suffering, that plague him and force him away from any slumber whatsoever.
So Harry's been having nightmares. This is nothing new. He has them in every book, and they always involve this fellow. The author, however, never tells us what exactly is plaguing Harry's dreams. Only that he's been having nightmares. Non-specific, nondescript nightmares.
It was driving the young English sorcerer to his wits' end, and he could not concentrate during class. A behavior swiftly noticed by one of his primary instructors, Dumbledore.
Dumbledore is not one of Harry's teachers. He is the headmaster of Hogwarts. Even people who have never read these books know that. If you're going to write fan fiction, at least familiarize yourself with the fandom you're using and do some fucking research.
Mr. Potter, his teacher quipped, inquisitively. It has come to my attention that you are having difficulty concentrating in class. Rubbish, yawned Harry, teetering precariously where he stood. Sleep deprivation, perchance. The instructor persisted. Harry wearily acquiesced. Yes, sir, he sighed. Bad dreams. Odd, remarked Dumbledore. Such an occurrence seldom happens here at Hogwarts.
No one gets nightmares at Hogwarts! And I am sick and tired of people using the word quip the wrong way. To quip means to make a witty remark. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, witty about Dumbledore saying, "It has come to my attention that you are having difficulty concentrating in class." Get a dictionary.
I recommend you take some time off from your studies, else this tiredness takes its toll on you academically. Is that understood, Mr. Potter?
Typically, Harry's nightmares involve this fellow. And he's almost always brutalizing Harry or his loved ones. And, in general, Dumbledore is always very concerned with Harry's nightmares. When Harry Potter has a nightmare, it usually means that someone is about to die horribly. But does Dumbledore care? No, not really. He just lets Harry take a little time off from class. Because when I have nightmares, I don't have to go to school either.
Not that time off would do him any good. The nightmares were omnipresent, and would not relent, even in the daytime.
Wow, these nightmares must be just horrible. Maybe the author could show us them, or at least tell us what they're about. This whole thing would be a lot more interesting if the author would tell us what the nightmares were about.
To clear his mind, Harry decided to take a broomstick flight outside of the academy grounds.
because Hogwarts students are totally allowed to leave school grounds whenever they feel like it. Do a little research.
He rocketed over the eastern border and across the murky oceans. But, to utmost horror, his weariness affected his performance of flight, and the broomstick began to shudder violently as his control of it was hindered. He began to plummet. Incidentally, he was too tired to demonstrate fear and let the Dumbledore of the wine lull him into blissful submission, something he had gone without for almost 72 hours. Within no time at all, he was consumed by the icy chill of the waters, and all went dark.
He went out across the ocean? What on earth possessed him to do that? He's so tired he can barely stand up, yet he decides that it would be a good idea to hop on his broomstick and fly across the ocean? That is beyond stupid. It's like staying up for a week straight and then deciding you're going to get on your car and head for the freeway. And how did nobody notice that the most popular kid in school, the one prophesized to save us all from Rafe Fiennes, is gone? Anyway, Harry wakes up in a cabin with a strange man and is not all concerned that he might have been raped. He doesn't seem to care where he is, how he got there, or how he can get back to Hogwarts, where everyone is, presumably, worried sick. Harry instead decides to hang out with the man, whose name is David, and who is completely devoid of having a pesky personality.
As Harry was perceptive, he deduced that the man was a muggle, simply from his clothes.
You know, if you've seen any of the Harry Potter films, you'd notice that Harry and all of his friends wear muggle clothes. Despite being with a muggle who happens to be a complete stranger, Harry feels compelled to tell David that he's a wizard and that he was just riding his broomstick out over the ocean.
Drying by the fire, David replied. I found some peculiar trinkets inside, you know. Really quite fascinating, albeit evil.
And here comes the religion.
A wizard, you say? Mused David. I had the feeling that may have been the case. You're from that mysterious academy, aren't you?
David, as it turns out, knows a girl who used to go to Hogwarts.
What was her name? E.R.M.K. if I remember correctly. She was a highly decorated student there, top of her class, she told me. Until one day she achieved a new level of magic, and that's when things started to go awry.
Oh no!
She started having dreams of a frightful nature, David remarked.
Were the nightmares about this man? No? They weren't? Oh, forget anything interesting happening then. Oh, and Kate, she's never mentioned again. This entire segment was pointless.
That's right, David continued, dreams of demons and creatures of the satanic variety. All of her teachers told her to pay no attention to them, but she had to find out why she was being haunted. So, she snuck away from the academy one night and wound up here, at my cottage. I showed her the Bible, you see.
Every time I have a nightmare, I turn to the Bible. It has a whole chapter on how to defeat Freddy Krueger, and what to do should you arrive at your old high school completely naked. But David doesn't have just any old Bible. He's got
the Christian Bible. And, according to the scriptures, what was the verse? Ah, yes. Deuteronomy 18:10-12. Let no one be found among you who sacrifices his son or daughter in the fire, who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritist, or who consults, but who does these things is detestable in the eyes of the Lord. So, don't you see, young man? David finished. What you are practicing is, day by day, devoting your life to the evil one.